I'm moving to your babe, I'm not gonna be telling her I'm not going
Of course,
to be
you'll
telling
be
her I'm just
doing,
going to be talking to her.
yeah.
And you
Just,
can't honestly, you're going to sound like a douchebag in a certain way if you are stopping her from this.
Talking, just talking. Yeah,
Of course.
natural,
That's
natural.
So that's the way guys move to babes now. So he's not going to be saying, "Oh, let me see your underwear." Like, you're not going to move into her in a sexual way. He's going to just
Is
be
he friendly?
just going to be there.
Between you and I,
Secret lovers?
just until we sign the papers.
This is the first time in my life I'm willing to fight for a woman.
Don't talk to me in that condescending manner.
What up, people? It's your favorite podcast, man. Back again with another one. I'm Michael Sonario.
and I'm Moro Gunkoya.
And this is Menisms. And ladies and gentlemen, we are starting off with the special guest, one of our guys out here. You guys know this man's face,
Of course.
but we know him personally in a good way. But I'm going to let him introduce himself to the world and say who you are, my brother.
Hey guys, finally happy to be here. My name is Timini Egbuson. I'm a human being that acts, writes, creates content for a living.
All right.
Love it. So, I mean, we're still going to get into knowing who you are. But before we do, obviously, make sure you guys subscribe to the new channel, Menisms Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to all our audio platforms, please. We appreciate all of you guys that have been rocking with us. We realize we've actually now been doing this for 2 years. Now that it's 2024, this is going to be year 2.
2 years.
So shout out to all of you that have been rocking with us, and it's only going to get bigger from here. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. All right, my G. So welcome to the pod. We always start off with questions from the fans first.
Okay.
Then we have a little discussion from it, and then we move from there. So
I have questions from the fans as well for you guys. If that's calm, like.
Oh, well.
Because I know you guys always used to throwing the questions. They're trying to throw like questions from the fans. Okay.
It's questions.
I actually have questions from the fans.
We're ready. We're
Alright,
ready.
cool, especially
All
for
right.
you.
Okay, let's go. Let's start with that.
No. You start. Ladies first.
All right. Cool.
Hey, Menisms. I'm a uni student in Canada, so I don't have much luck with the ladies. But I was about to get one this year, but she has a boyfriend from back home, but I didn't care. So I slept with her. Bear in mind, she was my first buddy. So you already know the attachment. Then I heard that she's sleeping with other guys. Cry emoji. What should I do? By the way, I'm one of your biggest fans. First off, shout out to you. Wow, there's a lot to really unpack. But
First of all, that's very chaotic. It's too chaotic.
Too
It's too chaotic. Because on one side, he's literally sleeping with someone else's babe. On the other side, he's complaining that someone else's babe he's sleeping with other guys, and he has a problem with it.
Baba, you just got to Canada. Oh. You are there for a reason. Let's just start off there.
Let's
you
start
are
with
there.
that.
You are there for. You just got to Canada. Oh.
Do you have your papers correct?
Exactly.
Bro, there are too many important questions to ask. But I would say, obviously,
Let's break it off.
As he's saying that though, he has like really and truly, he has nothing to lose in terms of, like he said, he's single. And if it's consensual between both parties, then if he at least has stated what it is, this is where I am at and all that, then my brother, you shouldn't be worrying yourself. Should you be doing it? No, but shouldn't be worrying yourself too at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, so again, I'm still trying to really grasp where he
Let me
needs
read
our
that
help.
question.
I'm trying to grasp where he needs our
Try to
help.
understand the situation.
Because he says, I'm a uni student in Canada, so I don't have much luck with the ladies. But then somehow, the one he now says
that he's an international student, or
I imagine,
okay.
yeah. So, but then somehow he says, he was about to get one.
No, he
So
said
you know
I
the
got
thing is,
one.
what I see there is, he said she has a boyfriend back
No, he said I was
home.
about to get one.
But she has a boyfriend back
Back home.
So that back home is almost like non-existent to some people once they cross
it's
the distance,
distance,
because
forget it,
this
that you are
boyfriend back
single.
home, is he planning to come? He knows he's probably going to be there for 5 years. She's probably there for 5 years. So that boyfriend back home is not really
like you're
sounding
pretty
like
much single.
it's like
There's
it's
no
like
ring
you're
on
pretty
your
much
finger, you're
single
not
in
really married.
Canada. I think that's
If
that's
I
the
look
way
at
you guys
my
classify.
younger
That's a whole lot of
self,
discussion
I
about
was
long
about to
distance,
say, because
but
if I look back at so I never chased girls that had boyfriends. However, I have been in that situation when I was in college, that you meet a girl now and you be like, oh, what's your relationship status? Oh, I have a man, but he lives in another country. Especially some that lived
See
in
that? But
Nigeria.
when they say
Yeah.
but,
But-
Yeah,
It's
I feel
like-
like that's even on the base.
Hey.
The minute you say but, why you say like I have a man,
but
Just leave it at that.
Like that, like if you are
I
serious,
have a
like
man,
I feel
yeah,
like if
but that
you're a
bus
woman
is
that's
like-
serious, say I have a girlfriend,
I feel
or
like
I have a man.
it's a door opener as far as I'm concerned. They
It's like
say
you
that
see
as a
somebody,
bait,
it's like see somebody walking away. You say I have a man and he's walking away you're like,
but so you can't exactly. So it's like a door opener. So it's like
that butt is like come back.
Let
So
me-
you're
exactly,
saying, so
let
what
me
are you
let you
guys saying? Are you guys saying that yes, guys now they can easily shoot the shot, but in the end it's still up to the woman? Because really and truly, as we're saying that, but it's really her that decides if she's going to open that door or not. So are we saying really and truly it's still the woman?
So I feel like it's both, right? Again, guys will still be guys. Like he said, she has a man, he doesn't care. Personally, sometimes I put myself in the guy's shoes. Like, do I really want them blowing my baby's back out like this? Like, so maybe I should step back a little bit and not, move to another guy's babe.
that's
So that's why I said both, and that's the guy's side. Then there's the girl side where she has to either be strict on the boundaries, either she knows there's no room to give the uncertainties. Like, if you have a man, I have a man. Finish.
I mean, now obviously my own mentality has changed a lot, but like in my days when I was in the streets, right, it was almost like single until married. So even if, for guys, for girls, sometimes it's like the person that your partners might be in a relationship based off of being bored or based off of just being lonely before they met you, So it's only until somebody has actually gotten married
Before you
then
really say that
okay,
it's like
off limits, fair game. And there's, everybody's in a relationship, everybody's, kind of like
It's
messing
so
with
funny
everybody.
how-
So if that's like a criteria for you to back off from everybody that you meet,
then you'll be backing up from everybody
yeah,
that you
yeah,
meet.
you might back off from your soulmate. You get me? Like,
what I'm laughing
Well,
at
it's
is
a tricky one, but I get you.
all
It's a
three
tricky
of
one.
us here. It's funny. I'm just laughing because again, I could be wrong. It's your truth, but I'm saying back in the day, all of us definitely probably had our Playboy phase.
I mean,
I've been a virgin since day one. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
See that it wasn't you, as even it's him because
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah,
just
yeah.
always in
Been
denial.
a-
But
been a
I'll
vir-
admit
been a
I had a
virgin
bad boy stage back then, and it's funny how you said just now like back then because like it's actually true. Like a number of years ago, if you asked me the same question, my answer would have been hella different. But now that I've had those experiences, and when you now are in the position that you two get a babe,
This is why I said perspective, because if I put myself in the guy's shoes, so you know how you said single until married. If someone is looking at my serious babe of 2 years,
no,
that I'm
it's not
I'm
single
not
to
engaged
marry.
exactly.
Nah.
Now,
If I announce or I told you I have a babe,
then let
trust
it be
me,
that.
if someone,
Because
is looking,
I
if
don't
someone
do-
is looking at your serious girlfriend, are you mad at him?
So when you
Or
say
moving,
looking at-
actively moving to your
actively
serious
moving,
girlfriend?
it's free game because again, she's my babe for a reason. Naturally, guys will move to you. It's inevitable,
you
right?
say free game.
No, when I say free game, I mean you can try your luck. It's another thing for my babe to now be giving the atmosphere of keep coming, because the truth is a guy that is putting pressure. If your babe is constantly saying no,
So how do you know he's the guy putting pressure? Or is your babe saying no? What?
so it's a difficult
Based off
thing.
of what she tells you,
So
or you check her phone.
check,
This
no,
is a
that's
good.
off
I
limits
like
for me.
this.
Exactly. So how
Check
do
your
you
phone.
know?
That's BP before your time.
Exactly.
But,
So
yeah.
the point now then is you're
It's
only going to
trust.
be
So-
judging based off of what she tells you.
Which is trust. So again, I guess you have to look at the angle of how much you trust your partner and how much you're
It's like
willing
they
to
say,
believe
don't
what they
embarrass
say.
me outside, basically. Because like you
That's
just because like
pretty
you
much the
said,
summary. That's
because if you
it.
really
Exactly.
think about it, unless you're monitoring her every movement,
can
you're
never
not going to
know.
know unless
You
you
can
have
never
people
know.
outside. Like
One thing I learned is that a lot of girls love their boyfriends. No doubt about that. But there's some sort of entertainment and there's some sort of fun and there's some sort of, feeling wanted that
And
comes
they
with
find thrilling,
talking to
God
other
forbid.
people.
Yes.
They might never ever cheat on you.
but they would engage that person.
And then when you
know
see
what?
those things that they engage, which is obviously just them being human and them just obviously satisfying their need to feel wanted,
Yeah.
you now start to get mad about it.
Which is why I said.
And where you start to get mad about it and where you start acting up and this guy is calling you again, Abi. This Mirabel because of his beard now he's calling you again.
no, wait.
Once
but
you
that's
start
different.
doing
that's
that,
different. No, but that's
you are
different.
now giving her
But that's
the
different.
access and you're now opening up the door for her to eventually cheat on you.
But wait, can I say that's
To some
different
extent,
because
yes, depending on the person.
I disagree to an extent that in terms of any girl you date, like for me now, if I'm dating you now, obviously I know you are a baddie. So obviously I know there's other men that are going to look at you outside in terms of
Naturally.
physically, right? Now, I always say this joke saying, hopefully you two, you go build yourself to the point that other guys are not going to try it because they know they have a respect for you to an extent. Doesn't mean they still won't try it. But if a guy is consistently moving to my girl and I find out, even if she's not entertaining it, there's a problem.
Wait, who for who?
The guy.
They go beautifully good.
Yeah, see you. See
No,
you.
no, no. So
no.
he has
It's
he
not
has
like
a point
no.
that
What I
kind
mean
of-
is,
I kind
if
of-
I know, so like
If
it's
it's your
happened
guy,
to- it's happened
maybe,
before.
or
Not my
someone in your
guy.
circle.
No, but
But you're not going to move to me as a total stranger. Like, why am I
okay,
talking to your
Timini,
girlfriend?
okay, Timini, no,
As a young
no.
Jim.
Obviously, we know we're in Lagos. You can't be doing Yankee style saying, "Hey, my nigga, what's up?" Like, unless you're like, okay, for example, you're somebody, I'm somebody. We're not the kind of men now that at least we've built an into a point that you're not a random guy. Like, even if the guy doesn't know you, there's
He
at
knows
least
of
a
you,
background
or,
that you go say, wait, hold on. And if you're consistently doing it, the circles are small. We can find you.
Yeah, and not just that. I still again feel like, yeah, guys are ruthlessly persistent. You know, especially niche guys, right? But the thing is, again, I mentioned that whole persistency because of precedents. But again, if a guy is really moving to your babe, sometimes I feel like she's giving him some reason to not stop.
There's a reason. That's what I was about to
Like
say.
I just feel like there's always something.
And if a girl, hopefully, because you can't say, but if a girl hopefully likes her guy enough or respects him enough, there's a way that guy can't just come back. Because the guy is only going to come back when he knows there's a door opening or there's something.
And
she's
he just needs
constantly
pressure.
saying.
He just needs to put pressure.
It's only a guy that's harassing a babe that when she's saying no, and I
she's
still
ju-
say I want to go. That's harassment.
And
That's
at that
just-
point, it's becoming a problem.
I feel you guys, but again, if I'm moving to your babe, I'm not going to be telling her like I'm not going
Of
to
course,
be
you'll
telling
be
her like
doing-
I'm just going to be talking to her,
yeah,
and you
just-
can't honestly. You're going to sound like a douchebag in a certain way if you are stopping her from this.
Of
guy.
course,
just
of
talking.
course,
Yeah,
of course.
natural,
That's
natural.
even
So that's the way guys move to babes now. So he's not going to be saying, "Oh, let me see your underwear." Like, well, he's not going to move into her in a sexual way. He's going to just
he
be
friendly,
just going to be there.
Yeah, break
And
his
then
way
you
in,
complain
basically.
you complain about another person being there, another human being trying to befriend her. It's going to now start making you seem weird.
Wait, but
And
now-
then you now
yeah.
coming to meet me and trying to talk
It's
to
even
me
worse.
and fighting me or like for being friends with your girlfriend. You're going to look mad or crazy.
Okay, so but
And it wasn't like that back in. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like,
answer-
but
it's
answer
not
me-
like
but
that.
answer me-
It's
answer-
a bit tricky. So
Yeah,
you have to just
But
hope
answer me this though.
and pray that she doesn't
Wait,
embarrass you.
but you answer me this though. So I do get the dynamic and obviously it's changed from before. But the reason why guys will start having a problem is because we recognize that game. And so
Like,
and so we're like, so to my babe, she can be like, oh, but he's just being friends, that's my best tactic.
You know.
That being friends, that's what I studied in school. You understand what I'm saying? So because I know and I recognize that game, now I might fall back a little bit based on the level he's gotten to with that friendship, right? Once he starts proposing, let's go for friendly drinks, let's grab friendly coffee. Trying to nip that in the bud, man. I'm sorry, but
I know. I feel like that's what I'll do, but it's
but
a
I
weird
get what
thing
you're
to
saying.
do.
There's a thin line.
It's a weird thing
There's
to
a
do.
thin line. You kind of have to be careful because if you come off as weird and miss the timing, then it will be very difficult for you to even draw lines.
I think
Consolation
the only
drinks.
time will be an issue is if you know and you do it. Like, the guys that don't know, but if you know and the guy still is trying to be friendly or not, that's when it's an issue. That's where you type.
I feel like it's only if I'm personally related or have connections with the guy that I'll have a conversation
You
with
come
him.
back and be like, bro, what's
Even
happening?
if I know.
Yeah.
Fair.
That makes sense.
All right,
That makes sense.
let me
So,
ask you guys another. But that was a good point you brought up. Whoever the person was that made that question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Second one. Do you want to read it or shall I go?
Okay, all right. Let me go with the second one.
Actually, I'll read it. It's not even a
Oh
question.
yes, not the question. Yeah.
So you do the last two. Sponsorship inquiries. Good evening. This is to make inquiries about sponsoring your show. We are a herbal supplement brand and we love if you reach so we can talk further. Bring the check now.
Exactly.
Bring
What else?
the yes,
Check
you
already.
can sponsor.
Let's talk.
We have in fact bring your deck, everything. If you are ready to drop the bag, we got you. The marketing will do for you. Don't worry.
Energy.
All right. Okay. So let's go to number 3. So this one says, "Hey guys, first off, I'd like to say I'm a big fan of the podcast. Thank you very much,
Appreciate you.
and always listen to your stuff. I cut to the chase. I'm a 21-year-old who has a really hard time associating with women. Please, you have to be careful. So on this podcast, let's be clear: female what? So this is women, right? Not females, right? So I have a really hard time associating with women personally. I always like to blame it on the only boys' school I attended and my lack of older guidance in stuff like this. I'd like to see. Okay, I'm not sure.
I would like to ask if you had any
Okay,
advice.
Yeah, I'd like to ask if you had any advice for a young guy like me concerning building up my confidence and associating with people in general. Okay, so this is good because I went to an all-boys school as well, so I can kind of touch on this. And so the all-boys school thing doesn't actually doesn't actually, to an extent, affect how you associate with women, particularly because no matter what, that all boys school has one affiliate all girls school that they're always either being friends with. It usually happens like that, right? So I would say to an extent, he shouldn't really blame that as the source. But let's actually answer his question, which is what can he do to actually build some confidence? And my own take personally is you kind of have to start from friendships, right? Start from just looking for how to just be friends with people. And by doing that, you find commonalities. What do you guys like in common? Find people who like what you like. Social media era makes it so much easier, right? You find people who are liking the same stuff. On Instagram, you can get on Instagram now, and just from comments on sections, you would know that these people also like the same content you are watching, right?
Man, sorry, this thing's
then
been
from
aching
there,
my soul when you just said something. I'm sorry, but I was
that?
like, ain't no way, God forbid, all boys school, the way you just said it doesn't affect you. That thing affects you, God forbid.
Nah.
God forbid. If I went to an all boys school, I'll not be who I am.
Nah. Okay,
you guys had the thing is you are saying
okay, well, maybe I'm saying it from the angle
Uh-huh.
of having the privilege of an affiliate all girls school.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm saying like that. Fair, right? But I still think, it's actually, yeah, it does affect to an extent.
like,
because
did you go to a mixed school?
Yeah, I did go to mixed school.
I think it
But-
does affect.
But I mean, I feel like sometimes it doesn't, because when you're in an all boys school, right, you have more time to be strategic and to be intentional about your relations with women,
Yes.
and you tend to now
Because something that doesn't come often.
yeah, exactly, and yet you tend to converse with boys more often about women. You tend to hear more of boys' experiences that they might not have shared if there were no other females around.
Yeah.
So because of that, your game gets better. Like I know boys that went to, like most of the boys that have the hardest game back when I was in uni were boys that went to KC,
yes,
were boys that
exactly.
went to like
So I used to hear
school
that
like
about you guys in like I remember when I came back and I was supposed to go to White Sands. I told my mom, look, if you send me to White Sands, I'll find my way back to America because I'm not doing it. But I said for me, going to a mixed school was the best because, like you said, okay, there's the part of if you go to an all boys school, you have that game, especially from certain guys or no, but the source, which is the woman, you can't beat that in school when you meet in that every day.
You know what?
When
You
you,
know what?
actually get to do trial and error every day. In fact, you now have the female
But that
friends
can
that
kill your
can come.
confidence because, like you said, he's young, right? So if at that point in time you get it wrong with the woman and then you now become that dog, like you're now that dead guy, then that you can now grow on that and that can affect your confidence. Do you understand?
Let me even say, so I can even say, because from my all boys school, I went to a mixed school. So I literally have experience on that transition to both. And I did 4 years in all boys school and then my last 2 years in the mixed school. So while I was in the all boys school, I'll call it, she was a girlfriend. I mean, that's what it was at the time, and the dynamic I had with this girl I was seeing when I was in my all boys school was in fact, this was a time when phones were not really a thing, and so you had to like meet that older cousin or older uncle
go
to
and borrow
just
phone
borrow
now
his
or
phone.
something.
Let me send this text message. He to indulge you because he can tell it's a girl you're trying to text and stuff like that. But I'm sure that entire thing we did not last more than 3 weeks, and it was 3 weeks of just fooling, that's what I'll call it. But it shaped my experience and it let me know that I definitely didn't know what to do with women, with girls, I just had no idea. I was clueless. Now, transitioning to the mixed school now, it's not like anything had changed, right? It's not like, I had any tips to take from my all boys school into this mixed school. So I went in having no idea and getting to this school, find girls left and right, and these are people that are in the same class. If I'm sitting next to one, I'm not even sure what to do. And she's there like acting normal, like, oh yeah, can I read your notes? Bro, you read my notes? I mean, take my entire book. What are you talking about?
It's all right for you.
You get so what then happened was, so I brought it up because you mentioned that thing about being a dork, right? And so because I was trying to overcompensate, especially when I was around people who were already, they literally started, this was even the worst one, they started first year with these girls. So they had built a relationship, right? I was this new guy that wasn't even so good with girls, and so I had to like really overcompensate for what these guys seem to be getting so easily. And so a lot of the time I found myself saying weird things. I mean, I can't really recall in detail, but it just ended up with them saying, "Guy, you're just always talking." I can't. I'm not sharing that shit.
As you talk about it, you could tell yourself, say, what did I just say?
Exactly. So I'm like, some of the things I would say then, in the event, in the hope to seem cool or, seem like someone the women would want attention from. At some point, and there's some very brazen girls that will just give it to you as it is. Someone will just tell me, guy, why are you always yarning dust? Now, let me tell you, right?
Yo,
I mean,
I love that.
she and I ended up being close friends later on, but till this day, that thing entered my
nah.
soul.
See, even let's not even go back to like
She doesn't even remember she said that to me.
when I've been younger. Anything back, this not in the not so distant like past. You understand? I was talking to some girl. Obviously, my uncle, millennial banter, giving out, and she was a bit younger than me. And then she was like, "Oh, something, why?" Like me, you know, when normally you're hanging out with the girl, you're trying to let her know, like, giving her, she was like, "Guy, you're oversharing."
Hey.
No, I've had that.
Hey.
And you know what's funny? You said
I was
something.
like,
You
"Yo,
will lock up.
me,
You lock up.
Can I ask you guys?
Help
Can I
me
ask you guys a
You be like-
question?
you be like,
about what
no.
we're saying? Because there are two things I want to bring up, and I want to ask you guys a question. So, like for me now, I was lucky where I don't know if you know this. Attended my grandma's all-girls school when I first came to Nigeria. So I was the only boy going to the all-girls school every day.
like as a student."
Vivian
For
Fowler.
VF. I went for like 2 weeks. That's my grandma's school. So
Look at me like my nigga.
yeah,
Lucky
man.
ass nigga.
No, but let me bust your head. I tell people
That's
there's like
crazy.
people be like, you lucky. So it's like for me, I came with the Yankee mentality whereby I've been in mixed schools, I've seen the girls, so I
it
was
wasn't,
already
like,
calm in that
exciting,
aspect.
yeah.
But then to actually be put in the Lions Den as per an all-girl school, Nigerian babes, like you just said, that was different from me. Whereby that actually, I tell people that helped my confidence the most because it broke it, but it gained
So
it back.
you were going to classes with them.
Yeah, for like the first 2-3 weeks, and then some parents started complaining when they started seeing me because at first they'd be like, "Who's this boy? It's my
Were
mom's
you wearing,
grandson."
like a uniform. Or
Oh, no, I didn't do all
Are you
that.
sure you
No.
wear a
I was just in
skirt?
SS3. No, just
You
in
wear no
SS3
skirt?
class.
You didn't wear no skirt?
I just used to do lesson in SS3. Shout out to
No
the
skirt?
SS3 class of 2009. You know yourself, still my G. So today, nah.
If you guys have pictures, we would like to see some
I went
pictures.
to
Editing
Supreme, I went to
into one
Supreme after.
uniform right
I
there.
went for 3 weeks and I went to Supreme after.
Okay.
But what I was saying is the girls there, they broke my confidence because I'm coming there with Yankee thinking I have all the game and sweat. Like, yo, you see girls like this, like, you this boy that I wearing big shirts and trousers, you don't have shame, man. And you be like, whoa.
That's exactly Nigerian
So,
girls,
but then
yes.
what I also liked about it is because they broke the confidence like that, but then Nigeria girls also build your confidence in a way because like once you've gone through that dark path of the grilling of a Nigeria babe and you know how to handle it, bro, when you go outside of this country,
I feel like game is different in every country, or maybe not every country, but like I know like game in Nigeria is different from like
Game in UK,
London.
game in-
Game
Oh,
in
yes,
Yankee,
game in-
yeah.
it's very different.
There's similarities,
Very-
but then there's still differences.
Yeah,
Very
so I
different,
can
yeah.
just imagine how bad it have been because you might have been getting all the babes back in America, but like when
You
you
come back
here,
and nothing for
Nigerian
you,
babes.
man.
The only advantage you have
100%
as an
different.
IJG, even up to now, even then, was okay, you're foreign. That's the only thing that at first they want to inquire about you, but doesn't mean they like you.
I
Yeah.
actually honestly think IJGB is at its advantage even now.
Oh yeah, I think so
in
too.
Lagos.
Why do you guys say
Because
that?
there's apart from just
Why do you guys say that?
the game is different here. Like so, there's
Yeah.
just and there's a lingo
and
that
there's really nothing else that like you bring like an IJGB brings to the table. Because it's money. You get like we're
there are
good.
people
We
you
see
get
it.
Do you understand?
exactly.
You get access to all the
yeah.
places that these girls want to be. We have it.
So
Is
there isn't much.
You can't
that
even. You don't even have as much spending power. Even if you have as much money, you don't have the mind to spend as much.
Because
Because you're not even used
you
to
have to
that
think
lifestyle.
about your bills
Yeah.
back home. But
Yeah.
us,
You're
even
not
with
used
the
to
bills,
that
person
lifestyle.
goes to
crazy.
budget.
I was in Atlanta like last month. Like that's where I crossed over into the new year. And I being from Nigeria, like me, I was trying to my first few days, I was trying to like, yarn American or whatever. It wasn't work. Like me talking, I was talking as African as I could speak. Because that's what they wanted to hear.
Right,
like, oh my
right.
God, where you from? Like, yeah, I'm from Lagos.
And you just see them.
Next thing,
shock.
yeah, they're
It's like, oh
flaring
my
up.
God,
I want to
They're
come
flaring up.
over. Like, bro, I'm like, okay, come over. I'm a prince.
Let me ask,
Don't
Say
fucking
that,
kill
you
me.
know what? I was gonna ask you guys two questions. So here's the question I was gonna ask. Like in saying all this that we're saying now, do you guys feel like for us now, where do you guys prefer? I don't want to say prefer dating.
No, but experience
Where's
game.
easier? What would you say was easier, or a better experience, dating here or dating abroad?
Man, it's
As a Niger boy, as
so,
Niger
so
boys,
it's a pros and cons thing. There's definitely there wasn't one that I would say was better than the other, because on the Nine side, like you're my people. So regardless of our difficulties from our Niger babes,
can always come and relate.
there are
in
so many
some-
things we can relate on. Do you get? As opposed to if I'm dating a foreigner, there are so many things that the Niger baby is stressing me for that she's giving me easily. Like maybe, if I say, oh, let's go on a date, you don't have to give me one big deal. That, okay, you know what, I'll think about it and get back in 2 weeks. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. We can grab some coffee. Like, to them, it's like, let's do that and let's see. They give your build up a softer landing. Nigerian babes will stress you. You go through it and go through it and
Are we
go
talking about
through it.
dating Nigerian babes or dating in general?
So
Because
I
dating
think
Nigerian babes in America and in London
Oh,
and Canada
and are different.
okay, so
from
let's
Nigerian
say
babes.
let's stick to
exactly.
Nigerian babes. So Nigerian
Geographically.
babes here and then Nigerian babes abroad.
I feel
Geography,
like-
it still applies.
Okay, I
It still
honestly
applies,
feel
yeah.
like, and this is me talking out of my friend's experience.
I'm
I
sure.
feel like, what were you going to say something?
No, we'll still come back to you.
Yeah.
Finish, or we'll come back to
Let's
you.
go.
Oh, yeah.
We'll come back
No,
to
say
it.
your point.
Okay,
Okay,
all right. Okay.
Honestly, I was just joking. What I feel is that I feel like you get a better dating experience from a Nigerian girl living abroad than
Naturally.
from a Nigerian girl living here.
Solid point.
My reason is this, right? Nigerian girls living abroad, Canada, London, America, are the minority there. Like in the dating pool.
Okay.
Like there's so much more ethnicities.
Variety,
So there are options.
There are so
Yeah.
many more
Options.
options.
Okay.
And I don't know if the average guy out there, the average hunk out there is looking for a Nigerian babe to date.
Right.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So when a Nigerian babe there
I see where he's going, but go on.
catches
Now you go talk
you.
about Now you go talk about
when a Nigerian babe there catches you,
She wants to lock you
honestly
down.
the catch, and she will take care of you, and she'll be happier to take care of you. A lot of Nigerian girls, a lot of my friends that are baddies that I know that if they're in Lagos, they'll literally be checking their phones on deciding on who to go on dates
said
with,
this.
are out there on dating sites in
another
abroad,
country.
Yep.
You know, so when
Yep.
they catch you, Nigerian
You're
boy
lucky.
that has the same values as them, that understands their jokes, that wants to watch the same shows,
That's it.
you at
So-
the price. When you come out here, or you need to go down the street or just go to Zaza, they have 15 options, even the ones that are not the best looking. You know, so
But it's still an option. Also,
So I feel like
so,
that's
yeah,
what-
yeah. So I agree. He does have a point, but I think if you're looking at it from the angle of people who, let's say we're putting the playing field as equal, right? And in those locations, they still have their options too. That they rush them for Canada, they rush them for London, they rush them for Nigeria. Let's say that that's the level playing field. In other countries, let's also remember that like she's worried less about a lot of things because there's that independence that already comes from living in that location, right?
Like she has her own things, and it's not to say Nigerian girls don't have their own things handled here,
Yeah.
but because there's system, like we say, for
Yeah,
man
it's-
and woman,
yeah.
because there's systems abroad,
Exactly.
you're able to live a more independent life.
Statistically, there are more independent women. Just like, so when I say independent, I mean like it's easier to be independent in a
Comfortable.
structured environment like that, right? Because there's things that are set in place for your life to just be soft, right? Now, it doesn't mean that you're not feeling the stress of work still, but everything is in place. You know that, okay, the work your work you have right now is going to pay the bills whether you like it or not, right? Whereas here, there's this hustle spirit that is like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you want to move to me, but what can you offer me? And offer me to the point that I don't even want to be thinking about life. So by that barrier alone, there's so many walls you are breaking. There's so much
this
you're
is
doing.
This is us generalizing because
Of course,
there are
yeah, we're
materialistic
generalizing.
girls
Everywhere.
So I feel like
exactly, yeah, of course.
there's a point we're not
Independent
saying
Everywhere, yeah, of
that
course.
I feel like us guys don't admit, because what I was going to say to that is, I feel like dating can be easier here. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me
We'll let
explain
you
why.
land.
Let me explain why. Because here, let's be real. The problem is there's too many options for us here. For some of us guys. As per in Lagos now, you'll see body. And you can go out any day and see body. Abroad, on the other hand, you can't just go out you can to an extent if you're on the right
Everybody's fine for that side.
Wait,
Everybody-
Let me explain.
See,
Let me explain.
that's what I was gonna say.
So that's what I'm going to come to. Like, what I mean by that is, in America, it's probably harder for us because options day. Options
For guys
dey.
or for girls?
For guys.
Okay.
For guys, like
So it
that's what I
goes
said.
both ways. Basically, what I said goes both
Yeah,
ways.
that's what I said. I'm like to, but like when I like, for example, like before, when I used to go there,
Long
like,
time ago?
long time ago. So before, like if I went to Yankee now before as my single self, more option too much because
Yeah.
you have this state, this
Fair.
state, this state. This
Fair.
girl likes me. She's even willing to say, "I'll fly you out. I'll do this." So it's like I can't pick one. Here in Lagos, on the other hand, I might see
see what
girls.
you mean. I see
I
what
might
you
see
mean.
girls
I see what
every
you mean.
time, right? But when I actually get to know
I see what he means.
the one I
I see what he
like,
means.
I can actually decide to say, "Oh, more, let me just focus." Even with all the baddies around, let me just focus
You know
on
the,
this
the
girl.
problem was your wording. So here's
Yeah,
what
that's probably the way
he's
I said
trying
it.
to say that. So in Nige, right, there are options to initially pick from. That is options just day. But when it comes to people who can genuinely like you to that point of okay, I want to know this person further, the options are not that many.
Yes, they start to reduce.
But
All
then
points, actually.
outside the country, the options of people that are willing to treat you nice, do you this, are so much more.
Yeah.
Different races, ethnicities, ethnic groups, or rather, and all that. So what he means is, outside the country, it might be harder for a guy per se, in the sense that you have too many options to pick from, even when you find people who are genuine about you.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, it might be easier, like you said, because it's easier to streamline and say,
Yeah, because you already know the bullshit you're doing.
Exactly,
That's what
yeah,
I'm about to
that's
say.
what you mean.
The same girls that were talking about, oh, seem nice. You don't know the bullshit or wahala they're carrying.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I was about
yeah.
to say, it's easier
Yeah,
to also
true,
date her
true.
because I know the wahala I'm dealing with. If I mess up, I do something, Niger babe, you know, okay,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is what
see,
can
I see
happen.
what you mean.
There, on the other hand, is
Yeah.
roulette
Yeah.
because you can have the one that goes crazy, you can have the
Yeah.
one that's chilled,
Yeah.
the one in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah, or she used to be a felon and now she they kill people.
Bro, like,
Yeah.
And when they get mad, like, you hardly hear about, like, in my lifetime I can count the number of times in Nigeria that I've heard that a girl busted out a guy's car.
Yeah,
Yo,
or tore his
you
tires,
know,
kind of
like,
thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't rate
It's not
like that.
because them two. I
But
feel like,
out there,
bro, I was telling him there was one girl I was before a long time ago. That's
how many long time?
Oh, it's always having long
that's
time
my
ago.
disclaimer. You
Always.
you always had to say a long time ago. But there was a girl I was seeing, baddie, like, and I was like, all right, man, this girl gonna see. The deal breaker was this. Remember one time we're FaceTiming and talking, right? Then I don't know how the conversation came up, but the gun conversation came up about in America. So we're just talking about Viducci. She's like, I got my shit with me. I'm like, what do you mean you got your shit with you? Girl just went on FaceTime to her drawer. I just saw 4 pistols like that, just chilling. I said, if you see this girl, you'll never guess gun.
For
nothing,
me, that's
but
not a
you,
bad thing, Sha. Like, she
That's
wants to
not-
protect herself.
no,
Boys
I
are mad out
understand.
there.
I understand the reason
Bro,
in
if you-
America, but for me,
But you
as
might
a
be one of the
Niger,
guys
as a
that might
Niger,
get-
guy, as a Niger guy,
Nigeria guy can never look at it as only defense.
because the
I
thing
hear
is,
that.
I don't have it. Nothing that I need a gun, but the fact that you have a
I think I need
gun,
a gun.
You have options, not just one gun. You have
4, not even
exactly.
one. If you said one,
One
5.
for her Dior purse, one for her Chanel bag.
one
not
for the
one
day
that-
she's going to the gym and she's carrying the
Yeah,
duffel.
yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
not
not
to be
really
you.
small one that she can just put inside
Oh
their
my
jacuzzi.
days.
You see why I say Niger,
Like,
babe? At least I
it's-
know worst case you go vex. But
But my
Yeah.
boy, to help you answer your question, so what I'll tell you is that you're young, right? And
Take
at the
your
end of
time,
the day,
yeah.
you're even at more of an advantage than any of us here because there's social media, there's
God bless
blog
you.
posts, there's podcasts, there's different things that you can watch.
Mm-hmm.
You hear guys talk about their personal experiences. A lot of guys are now very vulnerable. Before, we wouldn't share half of the things that we're sharing, but now
Yeah.
we're very happy to share. That's on one hand. And on the other hand, just work on being the best version of yourself because even if you're a dork, even if you're the funny guy, even if you're the handy guy, whatever type of guy that you are, there's a girl out there or there are bare girls out there that will love you and I want to be with you. And then the last thing is that there's no hurry because, like, bro, you get into the stage where you see babes,
And
you
you'll be
literally
tired.
run.
you'll be tired, bro.
Bounce balance
I
will
never,
beg you
I
to
actually never thought that day would come where it's like I would sit down in my house and be like, bro, I'm tired of girls.
Yes, and maybe your dream babe is hitting you up and you're like, please.
Nah, man. Like, and that's
Like,
the thing. When you,
please.
my best friend told me this statement that made me change my whole thinking. She's just like, because there was a point I used to chase a certain type of aesthetically pleasing bodies. Doesn't mean they're good for me. When I see them physically, if you see them, but they're not good for me.
What's
And then-
that? What's the aesthetic?
Go ahead, share. Let's know.
To be fair, I had so before.
Long time ago.
No, not long. Yeah.
Oh, not that long
No,
ago?
no, long. 'Cause- so before, I used to chase. You know the girls,
Go ahead, say it.
the model type chicks you see on Instagram that
So,
know,
like,
be
Insta
living
model type
life,
aesthetic.
all them stuff, right? Now, aesthetically, you see these girls' bodies and all that, but I used to try and be the one that would try and change you in a way. Yeah, I know you like me, but then it's like I see your lifestyle. I might leave you to do it, but I'll
Can't
try
tell a
and
bad
change.
girl
But it's like
good. Wants a good girl.
Like, don't you want to calm down
God bless you.
sometimes?
Like,
don't you want
exactly. And then I remember my best friend's the one that told me, why do you waste your time when
She's
there
not
are
trying to
good
get
girls, when there
saved,
are other
yeah.
good bodies that are ready
She's
to
not
do
trying to
it's-
get saved.
But let me not lie to you, it was my own
You
fault.
really like bodies.
No, I like
trouble.
bodies. No,
You're in
I
soup.
found my own
Don't
now.
worry.
I found my own now, so I'm okay now. But what I'm
Oh
saying is
my
like
days.
the kind of girl I had
So
to
you really
switch
like
for.
bodies.
The girl I switched for now when she said that was, I'll admit, it was also a case of me avoiding committing to girls I knew I needed, but I wasn't ready to change for. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, so
sometimes
you were
like,
the one that
you know,
needed
there's
to
some
do
girls
it.
like, you
Oh,
know,
no.
you'll say, if I get this thing together, if I fix myself, this is the girl I want, you know. I kept avoiding those type of girls until eventually she said that I had to just change my mind and it worked out.
Yeah,
it worked
so,
out. But
yeah,
like you
so-
said, it got to an adult stage that I had to go through those experiences. Now say, okay, now I know what I want at this age. Because like you said, bro, you're young. Bro. Like when you reach 30, life hits in it.
Honestly, one of my biggest, maybe I could say biggest regrets is not settling down or like not picking a wife like
early
earlier, like,
enough.
when
Yeah,
I was,
yeah,
like,
yeah. No, to
I
be
wish I had
honest,
picked someone that like, one of my young loves that we by now we have. Maybe I must have
this
had like
thing
a
is making
14-year-old
me
kid
so-
running around.
But why do you say that? Because even where you are now, like you're doing well for yourself, you're successful,
Very
like
well.
you're growing and all, and now you at least have a foundation if you're in a relationship. But do you feel like that would have changed if you started early?
No, I feel like now I'm a bit too selfish. Like now I've seen
it.
what
That's
hard work
exactly
and
it.
consistency can
That's
do.
exactly
So
it.
that's what my eyes are locked on. You get like
That's exactly it.
so time to now focus and cut out the time, which is also necessary to build a relationship. I honestly look for it, but like I can't find it. But then I had more time on my hands. I could have easily learned, done that whole relationship process. But now it's like, bro, if I do this, and this, I'm getting this Oscar. Like, bro, this is hard to now say, okay, you know what? Let this Oscar wait. Let me focus on the relationship. That's on one hand. And on the other hand, there's now so many options. Do you understand? Because with wealth and success comes, like, admiration and, all of that. So there's now me having to ask myself the question of, okay, who's for real? Who's pretending?
yeah.
Who likes Bad Boy T? Who really likes Timini? Who's really about it? If I meet a girl that is acting like she's about it or is about it, I'm not asking myself, is she acting like she's about it?
Or
Is
she's
she
really
just not. So it's like
So
there's
this
a whole
thing,
lot of things that now make
Yeah.
it so complex as compared to like how it was back in the day when it was just I love you, you love me, I'm broke. But yeah.
Now you see
let's
this
go.
thing. No, I strongly agree, particularly because I feel like if I had locked in whoever I was in love with at 26 or 27 or whatever it is, apart from just having a phase in your life where your career kind of puts you in a place where that becomes your determination and devotion. There's also the aspect of being so exposed to people that are going to play on your trust, people that are going to play on your perception of what love is supposed to be, people that are going to play on your perception of what being genuine is supposed to be. Because the truth is, your fragility at the time was your vulnerability at the time was why you were easily able to fall in love. Like it was just okay, that's your only idea on love. You don't need other perceptions, you don't need other perspectives. You're just like, okay, this is what I know, this sounds pure, I'm gonna go with this. Now there's so many angles of doubts. But there's so many angles of
For both of you, what I was going to ask is, it comes to you, then it'll come to you. I also want to ask you, because it's two different perspectives. So for one now, if you found a woman that aligned with your vision, that is, because I get what you're saying in terms of like, especially all of us, when we get older now, the experiences we've been through sort of make us a bit more guarded in a way.
100%.
You're a bit more guarded.
yeah.
But then do you also now feel like we also now at this age also have that control now to actually open up to an extent in terms of the kind of women that we know we need? That's why I said, like, the difference between having a woman you want and need, it also takes a bit of vulnerability from us to also say, in that vision we're chasing, are we ready to at least give some of these women a
The
try? So do you
opportunity
feel
to-
like, so I guess my question to you is that, do you feel like are you open-minded enough to try with certain women that fit your vision?
I'm open-minded enough to try with not. I'm open-minded enough to try. Period. It can be any type of woman. I feel like why I'm still single now is because I've been trying to, put my spec in a box, and because of that, I've met the wrong people. I've met people that didn't work out. I've had unnecessary expectations. Now I'm just open-minded to find love wherever it comes from. And the thing about finding true love is that you can't even be guarded 1%. Like, you have to be able to just lose your guard and just say, if I die, I die. You understand?
this is facts. This is actual fact. This is actual
So
fact.
that's
because,
where I'm at right
yeah,
now.
because really, it's okay. So I've been
Same question to you now then.
I've been single for a while, a really long time, right? And in that time, I've spent a lot of it like discovering myself. Now, the problem with self-discovery is that you find a lot of peace in what you discover, and you use that as your coping mechanism, right? And so, if what I'm used to is I wake up in the morning, there's a certain way I like my breakfast, or a certain time of the day I like to cook my breakfast, there's a certain schedule in how I use my phone. It's my rules, right? There's nobody that's saying, okay, well, do this way, do that way instead. And you do that for a number of times, you create a peace around that, right? Now, when it comes to having to fall in love with somebody, there's so much compromise that has to come with it.
I disagree. People say that, but
No,
you
no,
can
wait.
still have your own
No,
schedule
hold
and
on,
time
wait.
in it.
No, I'm not even saying that the compromise is bad, right? I'm saying the compromise is there. There's no love you will find that it will just fit
Oh, God, you
into-
can't be your 100%.
Exactly. Now, but that's the problem. When you are single and have found peace for so long, you want 100%. That's why when he even mentioned something about, putting your spec in a box. Putting your spec in a box also comes around the things you want from the person, the things you like. So you say, okay, I want somebody that eats breakfast the way I eat breakfast. That's an unrealistic expectation, right? But it's an expectation you would grow into because it's a peace you found. And you've grown that peace because you're coming
So
from
what
somewhere where
about,
you didn't
let me
get
ask you,
the peace
so
enough.
what about dropping those now and, like he said,
And now be
going with an
vulnerable.
open, because one thing I've learned now that I've retired
Yes.
is that, what happened?
No, nothing.
I've
Continue.
retired. I
I
can't say
know,
what
we
happened.
know,
We know.
but you keep on saying it's fine.
No, you.
Pressure us, okay? Pressure
telling
us.
yourself. He's telling
Pressure
himself.
us. Pressure
Now that
us.
I've retired, like one thing I learned in the experience of getting there is that at first I thought I was going to come with all these expectations, and maybe the advantage I had, which is another thing, is I knew the person, like we had been guys for a long while, so the expectation was just like, okay, will you be my friend? That's the main thing. Everything else was just learning along the way, like, and I'll just ask myself every day, can you handle this? Yeah. Can you handle this? Yeah. If I can't
that's
handle
exactly,
now, if I can't handle it now, like if it's something I can't handle, that's where you said yourself that I learned that you have to be so vulnerable that you're even ready to have that conversation then and
And
there.
just some things, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's something,
to
yeah.
be honest, in that process of doing that, I think that's what made everything moving forward easier, because I was actually like mature enough at this age now to have those conversations. I don't have to necessarily change myself because, like I said, I still know my vision of where I want to go. But it's like I said, I had to ask the questions or befriend the person in a way that, are you aligned with my vision? Not that you're bringing me down, but are you also bringing me up in where I'm going? So that's why I said, like, you have to,
Yeah,
you
I
have
mean,
to open up, brother.
So I think
Open
the
up.
thing is, you see, vulnerability comes with a lot of what you've experienced and what you're not trying to experience anymore, right? Which is why he said you have to really drop the guard fully. And so there's certain signs you see in people that you're like, hey, this one is already moving weird again. Or you get when you're talking to somebody, everything looks good, but you see, you've also been in the point where everything looked good and was still messed up.
Yeah.
So when you see everything looking good,
Do you guys change? Oh, let me ask you. Oh, it's a good question for us men. Do you change some of your behavioral patterns when dealing with new women? So what that means is, for example, now let's say the girls that you saw red flags on, there's certain things you maybe tolerated or allowed that got it to that point. Do you change your stance when it comes to different women every time, or do you allow it as in, okay, I'm just going to play the same game with everyone to see if you...
I'm
very
actually I'm the most annoying version of myself, the worst version of myself
during
when I
your
start
talking
talking
to,
to a babe.
that's exactly me. That's
Like
exactly
I don't
me.
Explain explain
for
what you
me
mean by
now,
that.
Communication can seem like
That's exactly
a
me.
shackle on my neck. Do you understand? Like girls that want like consistent,
Your
like
time,
you know
your
those.
everything.
Let's and why? What are we doing? What's up? What's happening? How's your day? Blah, blah, blah. Bro, if you see the kind of days that I have, bro, I'm not 4 movies in the cinema every month because I have
you
time
have
to
it
be
time.
saying, have you eaten? Do you understand? So
Yeah.
when a girl is asking me, or a girl starts to complain about stuff like that, which is very valid for girls that like stuff like that.
Yes.
The girls that love that, they feel like if
Yeah.
you love me, and I blame TikTok because TikTok
I said this thing.
TikTok is out there with every other 5 signs that he's not into you.
Yes.
5
Oh
signs
my
that he's not
days,
into your
yes.
boyfriend. If he doesn't call you one another, bro, like those people doing those TikToks are single. You understand?
And half the time they're not even getting that treatment.
from their boyfriends, right? So if for
But
me,
not that the treatment is not valid.
it's valid
like
if
what
you
you
want
like is
that,
what you
yeah,
exactly.
but
is
those
what
are
you
not units to
Standards,
use to
yeah.
manage or measure like if someone likes you or not. So me, when we start talking, like I would be annoying. Like I actually sometimes I want to buzz you. I'm like, let me know those buttons. Okay. Let me tell you.
So let me ask you guys a question. What's your goal? Not that I say it's wrong, but what's your goal in doing that with the girl you meet?
So that it doesn't seem like I started to do something because I wanted to paint a wrong picture. Then eventually, when you've now broken down and you now love me, or maybe I've now fucked, you now start to tell
Saying
me
that you've changed.
Oh, I've changed.
This
I
is
don't want to
exactly
hear
it.
that
This is
thing. Do you
exactly
understand?
it.
I want to show you.
So
who
let me let me shed more light on this. Say for example, I'm by nature I'm a lover guy. Like that's how I express love. Like you would know. But the problem is that would I start showing the lover side to people I'm talking to constantly? So again, is no matter what, at any point in your life, you're not just talking to one person. Thanks to the social media era we are in now, And by talking, I don't even mean like you guys are talking. You could even just be like how you said, friendly conversations. That this person is attracted to me, but we're not there. We're just being friendly.
Yeah.
So that person enters the list of people you're talking to. So would I say then that because I know that those are the signs the person is looking for someone that would like you? You know, they tell you from the beginning that, oh, if he's not already doing this by this stage, don't waste your time. So would I now start showing those things from the beginning, and then when time comes and we've now really gotten into it, I'm now relaxing a little bit, and you're telling me that.
But my problem is if you're showing yourselves now as in, let's say, the asshole self or the self that you want to annoy her, then you're not allowing yourself to enjoy that experience with the girl that could potentially become something. Because I did it because I used to do it, like the girl I used to do where she would try and chill at first. I'd be like, hey, I'm busy on this stuff. I ain't trying to do all this, like my normal self.
Yes.
Then somehow it changed, like I said, when it's just like, bro, why are you being like the girls actually? I just remember when I was just like, she's actually making an effort for you, which most girls would not. Let me try and switch,
exactly
and that switch is what made me allow myself to enjoy the experience of the person compared to being.
So you see that. She's giving you the reason now to trust again.
But other girls have done that probably, but subconsciously I pushed them away.
No, she did. Other girls haven't done that. She did it properly. Like the thing about
there's a time factor to it.
The fear is that consistent. What I know that I can't consistently continue. You don't want to do. When you find a girl that makes, because those things are sweet. Let me know, like the beginning of the relationship is always one of the
Rosie, yes.
Yeah, like you want to talk 6 hours, you want to talk 5 hours, but like I've done it in the past where I talk 5 hours just because the banter was sweet, or maybe just because God did it and I wasn't shooting that day. Maybe I was shooting and I made the time because I was really excited about getting to know this person. But like I cannot consistently talk to you for 5 hours.
Then when you stop doing this, like I used to
when you now stop doing it, it's not going to seem like.
So do you guys address it early though? That's what I'm saying. Even the part that's the friendship now with our schedules now. As things are growing, let's say early, as you maybe the first time you chill, you have great conversation. But after that, you start addressing it early, like, hey, based off my time schedule, my lifestyle, I need to.
When you find the person that is your person, like you said, you found your person, it will be easier to have those conversations, and they will actually genuinely.
What about before?
You can't know. But when you find the person, like when you met this babe now, for some weird reason, you took a chance and you were able to actually have these conversations with her in the beginning to say, this is really the kind of person that I am. And it's not like as if I'm ignoring you if I do this. It's because, honestly, I honestly get irritated when I talk to someone.
I remember I told you.
And I feel like now, even times have changed. Now it's easier to have this type of conversations. Now, because of social media and podcasts and all these things, like everybody is talking. Like it's not like before.
So you're hearing people say what they feel.
You know, like some girls say, oh, okay, that's actually fine. I understand. Okay, no problem. But just give me 30 minutes, please, because I actually enjoy talking on the phone, and it's one of the things that I love doing. And you're like, okay, cool. And next thing you find that you're bending for this babe, and you're making the time.
Exactly.
But you're not making the time because it was demanded. Like, oh,
thank you very much. It's a requisite for us to move to this point.
She's like, please, like, you know, to someone I'm speaking to right now, and you know, she really likes, you know, talking over the phone, and she really likes stuff like that. So when like I'm trying to like, please now, I mean, you slept again. Because me sometimes you get home, man.
You just sleep,
when you get home from the longest day, you understand. Like,
And I think women, you need to understand that too. We're not ignoring you. Like literally, there's some days you just come home.
Like, no, you can't tell me that you can't. You wash your face. I don't. I slept in my shoes. Like, you understand? I literally slept as I sat on my bed. But when I wake up in the morning and I see a message and I say, this 30+ man, you slept again.
See, there's
anyways, it would be nice to have spoken to you. I really just wanted to hear your voice. It wasn't going to be a long conversation, but next time.
I mean, listen to that.
You the next time you swear you're tired, dying.
This is why I said. So you see the consistency in how she approaches certain things. So you mentioned something about knowing the person long before and seeing that. No, and I'm saying seeing that there was a consistency in her genuinity. You could just see that this person is still that same genuine person. Okay, clearly I have to be the one to put in more effort because I think this person deserves that vulnerability I've been keeping from everybody else.
The reason I say that is because I also looked at past girls I was talking to or with before her.
And why you couldn't be that person with them.
I did the same, like it was sort of the same strategy, like I said. Like at first we go chill. If I like your vibe, then we go see. After that, when my life starts kicking in, it's just like, hey, I'm gonna let you know that hey, I'm busy. I know that. Now, depending on your reaction, like you said, is how I'm going to interact.
Yes.
And I think with her at first, like I could tell she'll be annoyed, but she obviously wasn't saying anything. It wasn't until like maybe the third, fourth time that she even had to call me out. And the way she called me out too was not like in a you know how some people say
like confrontational.
If I had some girls that used to do that confrontational shit, you were my girlfriend, I was like, no, just be like, Oh well.
I'm sorry, but I air it. I just like
I air it, like, yeah,
air it.
I'm
just
not your man. Like,
if you just start speaking and I see like
Paragraphs,
paragraphs.
I'm like, yo.
no, I'm not your man, sweetheart.
I'm
no,
not
I'll
actually
be-
the worst
nah.
guy. I can't even lie because bro, I have
yes.
paragraphs that I don't read. That's the thing. I don't even read them. Like
You're already reading script after
I don't
script. You
even
now
read
come
them.
back on my
Just
story.
on voice notes. Like,
It has to be one of those.
You know, see, voice notes 5 minutes.
I would
5
never-
It has
minutes,
to be one of those
Yeah.
things. You have a free day. You probably like weeks later. You just say,
No.
bro.
you
If
just
it's
said
gone,
this
it's
thing.
gone, man. If
Bro,
it's
my
gone, it's gone.
assistant
No.
is here. Sometimes I just give him. I just tell him, like, okay, please
Break
just-
it down,
just-
summarize.
just give me the first 3 lines. This is just simple. I'm delete it. I don't want to ever see it, and I'll let you know that. See that thing you said that you shared your feelings with.
I didn't
read it.
Oh,
Do you
damn.
understand? Please don't stress.
Yeah,
me.
I say it. So I usually,
Probably.
and the truth is that. So I think it's the approach, because how you just said. In fact, honestly, I even kind of want to know the babe that was telling you that thing she just told you now. I'm
Maybe not the
kidding.
same.
So yeah, but you see the approach was she gets it. Like she
Yeah.
gets that outside of this thing we're trying to build, we both have our individual lives that will take us from, this fantasy love life that we're trying to portray. And so when you understand that person also understands, you two will not be like, you two calm down. Which day I go free? I need to let her know that, look, I'm not shooting this day. Let's talk. Before you know it, it becomes so natural that every time you find peace in talking to this person, because you know that.
And when you find that person, that's when you literally find.
I knew my own
Simple.
was scattered because before I remember I used to say the same excuse to every girl. Look, I'm doing Sunday last year stuff. You can't
I'm
come.
busy.
I'm busy on this stuff.
And
then
that's
the one I now like.
to even invite any baby.
No, let me
anywhere.
bust
Exactly.
let me bust it.
Because
The way
obviously
that my
busy.
guys knew I was serious was I now brought my own with me now one Sunday last year, and everybody just saw us holding hands. Everybody's like,
You're like, you
then
be
the
in
next
public?
Sunday last year she came again. Next one came again. Said,
was like, yeah,
okay, this one
okay,
might.
yeah.
And it's just funny how like that was my excuse for every girl before, but then all of a sudden have the time now to bring a baby in. So I feel like it's still a self choice within us,
Yeah, but that choice thing is triggered by. If I'll say it's not exactly a release clause, but when you see that the person understands that, like, you know what,
release clause.
take your time, and you know what, it would have been nice
But
to.
one
It would
thing
have
I'll
been good
say
to.
as a prayer is that, like, as guys, you don't want to catch a babe that has unlocked all of this and it's just
And
ready
it's
to just. Do you understand? Because
Bro, let's not even go there.
Because
Let's not even go there.
I've been there.
Because
let's not go there because
I've been
oh
there
god,
now.
I've been
you
there.
find out that
because
I've
they
been
play
there.
the game
I've been
You know, they
there.
make it
so
like this.
well.
Because, you know, one thing that guys don't realize is that, like, the same way we have our boys chats and stuff, like,
It's the same
these
way
are the
they
same
do.
way
Yes.
these girls have their
Yes.
chats. And the same way we think that
We're
okay,
rotating babe,
our
right?
head is not correct. That's the same way that these girls, you understand? So if a girl wants to run game on you, except your I don't know, your radar is just high or you're just very
You won't even know still.
you won't know. So these babes are better at this thing.
Yes,
This
naturally.
whole P. Do you understand?
Also
So
because
this same babe
sometimes
that's
we feel
telling you,
like
don't
we
worry,
don't
it's fine if you're tired, sleep, we'll talk in the morning.
It's also
Wake
game.
up
It's
when
also
you-
game.
when you wake up in the morning, Bible verse they wait you. Say use this as a
Guys bringing up PTSD of
I swear.
because there's one right
That's
now
why
I'm
I'm
thinking of
laughing.
right now. She has a man. She has a man right now. She used to tell me I can't do relationships, all that stuff.
So you
Anyways.
just have to just pray that you have like your discerning spirit is like very awake and very alert.
Yeah, and so
And you just have to just trust. And hopefully if you get burnt, you just dust yourself.
another thing is also that the discerning spirit, they get in the way sometimes too, because when you've experienced this kind of person, your guard is up, and so you
but it's still
believe
a
that.
self-choice though.
Agreed. So you still believe that with every new person you're seeing, the discerning spirit is catching something. This baby is not genuine.
it's
Meanwhile,
crazy, bro.
see,
You know,
it's
this thing
hard.
is crazy.
Is
We
it? And
actually never stopped
And
talking
I'm so
about it.
women.
It's
I'm
actually
hoping
crazy.
that a lot of women actually watch this episode because it's actually a real conversation we're having from our perspective. Because a lot of women will just say, "And he's just playing game. He's just doing this." But you never actually sit down with us. Like there's never a lot of podcasts that men and women are having healthy conversations. Say, okay, I'm still trying to balance work-life balance for my personal stuff because in the end, I have to be able to provide not only for myself,
But for
but
the
for
person I'm
others
with,
if
yeah.
I'm going to bring somebody, which means
There's a lot
there's a
of
lot of
pressure,
work.
yeah.
And that's another thing. Depending on your craft, in fact, any man's craft, you don't know what it takes for him to be at the level he's at, what commitment
Exactly.
it takes.
Yeah.
But it'll sound like an excuse when you're trying to explain it to some women now. Meanwhile, it's like, if you were here, you would actually see.
Yeah, and it all trickles down to everything. The sex in the relationship, the
Conversations,
the
the
conversation in the
communication,
relationship, the alertness, the everything. Like, so you just need to find someone that really understands and someone that's really willing to bend and put us, and someone that's also busy.
Yeah.
Someone
Let me
that's
tell you,
also-
let me tell you, this thing is so
yo,
important because you see someone that has so much free time.
You know
Let's
what?
not get into it. Let's not
because
get
even
into it.
as, you know
Let's
what?
not get
As what
into
you said, it's true because if she's busy with her stuff, she knows
knows.
got time. But she wants lovey-dovey, but not
She knows.
24/7. She has
Yeah.
commitments too. But
Yeah.
and she
she
will
knows.
to understand.
And
if you're-
sometimes when I say that I want someone who is doing something and maybe preferably 9 to 5, if not something else that keeps her busy. It seems like it's the money part we're talking about. We don't really care for the money. I mean, yeah, you can have your money and that's
No,
great
let have
and
money.
good.
I beg. Let's
But
all
the
of us
point is
together is
that
better.
the reason for that is so you understand what it takes
Yeah.
to have to make 2 kobo, 3 kobo, and understand that when I say work is killing me, I'm busy. You're not oblivious to like this is your work,
Yeah.
work every time work. There's sometimes somebody told me every time you're always talking work. I was like, okay, cool, no worries. Never spoke again. Like I just can't.
Yeah, that was a big turn off for me.
Yeah,
because
because-
when they don't understand
Because
it,
I'm literally dying behind. I mean, once I'm done here now, before I even came here, I had a meeting I had to go to. Once I'm done here, I have another meeting. I'm going to have a presentation here and there. But I don't have to look like I'm dying for you to know that work is killing me. But I'm telling you that, look, I have to wake up early this morning. I have to do this. And then all you're saying is excuses. No problem. We can leave it as
we
that.
can go into it for
If
a
I
while,
was-
but
exactly.
let me just switch up now and ask you a question now, because obviously we know you're a big actor now. For the people that don't know, Habi, you're one that are you. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask some questions now about your acting. First off, how long have you been acting? Let's start there. And number 2, I would say you're one of the top Nollywood actors
out there. Yeah.
But to you yourself, where do you see yourself as a Nollywood actor now? So those 2 questions.
I've been acting for 15 years consistently. Never had a time off. Never had a time that I fell off. Never had a time that I wasn't relevant. For 15 years consistently. I believe that I genuinely opened up the way for a lot of new school young actors.
Agreed.
I also believe that I also genuinely opened up the leading male young actor category.
Right.
I like this.
You know, I say that very humbly speaking, because when I joined Nollywood, there were no roles for like young guys. There were no lead roles for like young guys. You either have to be an old man
To really get that lead role.
or like
yeah.
a young babe.
Right.
All the other guys that were acting as guys were just someone's son, someone's boyfriend. Nobody was
The actual
actively
lead role.
writing lead roles for young men. Your second question, one of the top actors, I genuinely believe that if you put everything that I've done and if you put like everything that I've been able to accomplish and all of that, I believe that I'm the biggest actor in Africa.
I love
Say
the
it
energy.
again.
I
Say it
love
again
the
with
energy.
COVID. No, say it.
But
Say it
also
again.
comes-
Love it.
Yes.
You know, I mean, there was a time where I was really shouting it, the best actor in Africa, biggest actor in Africa. But like, I think that now I've gotten so big that I'm not even concerned about being the best anymore. I'm
You're
trying
just
to
concerned
bring
about,
up
like, your
other
real
guys
craft
that can
about
be
exactly.
like the best, and I'm just trying to ginger other guys to enjoy their time in the spotlight, because like regardless of how you shine, you cannot possibly shine as bright as That's
That.
kind of like,
I like the energy. No, you have to
that's kinda
claim
like
it.
where I'm at right now, and it's a good place to be, because now I'm more comfortable. I mean, back in the day, or like the past 5 years, every month I'm moving from project to project, consistently trying to prove, just to remind. No, at first it was to prove, then now started to become to remind. Well, now I generally don't care. Like,
Now just
It's like if
your
you don't know
own
that that's
self.
if you don't know
do it
that that's you.
yeah,
that kind
because
of thing, yeah.
now it's like, okay, let me find what really makes me happy aside
What
from
kinds of
work. Let me
roles you like to
find
actually
what I
do,
really
what
feel
else you
like
wanna
doing.
do.
So let me ask you another question now. You have 2 movies out right now. That one of them actually I
3
think was
movies, 4 movies.
Just
wow.
lay it down for us. You're the one.
Oh, yeah,
that
lay
knows,
down for what movies do you have out right now?
and what do we need to look out for now for the new stuff that you're doing?
Okay. There's a Tribe Called Judah that is the biggest movie ever out of Africa.
Love it.
1.4 billion, 1.5 billion in Nigerian box office. We're still gathering the French-speaking African countries numbers. And then in London, it did like about 140 million, 150 million pounds, not million pounds, haha.
The Lulu.
But I say Instablog would not go see Timini says.
Change scenario. That's there. I have a movie currently in the cinemas called Meeting for Me's Parents. And then I have a movie coming out on today, actually. When you're watching this, coming out today, called All Is Fair in Love. But I also have Skinny Girl in Transit, a series that I'm on, a web series that I'm on, that is currently filming around this period. So I'm not really sure what episode or where we've gotten to at the time that you're watching, but like, yeah, that's that. I have a reality show, first Amazon original, called Ebuka Turns Up Africa, which is 5 guys literally just having boy conversations and having a great time around Africa. It's me, Ebuka, Zubi Michaels, Onoja, Alistair, and Jimmy Akinsola. It's never been done before. Reality. and it's going to definitely blow your mind. If you like Menisms, then you
Loved
would
it.
love that
Fair
because
enough,
it's
fair enough,
reality.
fair enough.
It's a reality. It's also tourist. So we're exploring places and we're having real boy conversations
Okay.
and real boy drama.
Right.
Those are the 5 that I can think about. Across the next 6 months, there's projects that I've already shot. A bunch of projects that I've
That
already
will
shot
come out, roll out later on.
that are coming out. I also have my directorial debut that
Okay.
I'm working on.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I mean, one more question. Even
I have mine as well. I'll ask after you.
So, what are my question to you is, as somebody now, you said you were one of the first young guys, the first young guy to come into Nollywood to really open that door for a lot of guys now. Looking at Nollywood now, you always have a lot of mixed reviews. There's the reviews at times where we know when a movie is great, it's great. We'll talk about it. Then there are the other times where a lot of people now, they don't watch. A lot of people watch Nollywood, but I'll say most of the young millennials, Gen Z, don't watch Nollywood as much as they used to growing up. So my question to you is, do you feel, one, that's true or false? And number 2 is, how do you feel the state of Nollywood is right now for the millennial Gen Z market in Africa?
If you really watch Nollywood growing up as a young millennial or a Gen Z, if you really loved Nollywood growing up, there is no way that you won't watch it now or you won't appreciate where we've come. Like, period. Anybody that doesn't watch or doesn't appreciate didn't watch or didn't really love Nollywood because, like, it is better. Like, there's no here or there. Do you understand? It is a lot better. The stories are better. The quality is better. The performances are better. We brought the showbiz into the acting. Do you understand? It wasn't just actors anymore that you didn't know about their personal lives. They weren't giving you fashion. They weren't giving you things to follow up on. Like, it's a lot better. There's a lot more to see. You understand? So most of the people that talk about that or bash Nollywood from that perspective are just coming from a place of ignorance, honestly, because they don't have the time to actually settle down to give it a try. There's 10 projects that I can tell you, some that I'm in, some that I'm not in, that I can tell you, okay, you know what, you want to rate Nollywood, go and watch. Do you understand? Bad-ass projects, you know? So it's fine. Hollywood, there are people that don't like Hollywood movies. There are people that don't like Marvel movies. There are people that hate Tyler Perry movies. You know, there's
Doesn't mean
all
that
of
it's
this.
not
So
good.
like, I
Exactly.
feel like we focus too much on the people that don't like us,
Than the
and
people who do,
we now ignore or neglect the people that appreciate what we do year in, year out.
Agreed.
You know, that's for the first part of your question. And the second part of the question, I feel like Nollywood is in a great place. There's a lot of it's easy for me to come off as being braggy, but like that's not what it is. Like, but I'm telling you for a fact that like there's so many people eating, feeding their families. You know, came from Enugu, came from the east. You know, had nothing that the government set them for that are feeding their families easily because of Nollywood. Young guys. I don't want to name names, but like there's a lot of younger people now that lead roles are being written for. It might have stand up from Timini, because there was a time where literally when I'm working, it's like, Timini, I have this role for you. When are you free? I'm not free in January. I'm not free in February. I'm not free in March. I'm not free in April. Okay, we'll wait till May. Like, I used to have that. But then I said, but no, why? Call this person now. Do you understand? Call this person. This guy go call you. I tell him, say, you understand? Just make sure, say, you know this opportunity. You understand? I've done it for everybody. Any big name that both of you are thinking about now in your head that is a young actor, I've done it for them.
I was trying to
Fair
think of
enough.
something now off it, but I'm like, you know more names than me.
Yeah,
I know the ones
fair
I know
enough.
personally.
Fair enough.
I've done it for them.
Fair.
But
Okay.
the problem and the mistake that they make is that they come out here with instead of them to come out with the mentality of gratitude. That's why you don't know about it, because they're not talking about it. They're not talking about it because they're not coming out from a place of gratitude and respect for this OG. They're coming out from a place of, okay, I'm now here. What do I need to do? Compete.
I see
But
what you mean.
But you can't compete with me because you
I
understand.
was
Like,
about to say, you even just said something now. You said like as an OG, so you consider it, the thing is you've done it another years.
Bro, 15 years.
That's why I
is
said
enough.
like. I'm just asking. No, that's why I'm just
OG.
asking the question.
Yes, OG. Do you understand? They know, like, do you understand?
Right.
They know. Do you understand? So when you come out now trying to compete, the energy changes and then those calls stop.
Stop.
Because
Yeah,
I
it
get
makes
those
sense.
calls.
It makes
I can't be in
sense. It
every
makes
movie,
sense.
bro.
It makes sense.
I can't be in every movie. It's
makes
so
sense.
crazy. Like the executive producer of this show, I was in his first project that he ever tried. Shout out to One Day. Do you understand?
Always hiding in the shadows, but we'll bring him out soon.
Yes, before like there was the channel, before like when he came and said he wanted to do this first film, blah 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 blah, blah. This series, I was that guy. So I was part of his journey, and his journey has birthed this way both of you are sitting.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Like,
Yeah.
it's that crazy. Like, if we start to draw the map and say, okay, how far?
Fair.
You understand? Like, I'm everywhere.
Right.
But I also generally feel like I don't get that appreciation of that. But fuck it, like, I don't want that appreciation. I just want to know that, okay, I'm feeding my family. I'm doing what
And
I
you've
love.
plugged people to.
And
their
there's
feeling good.
people that give me that respect. Say, okay, you understand. So sometimes when I see something on Twitter, I'm like, oh, and because obviously I look young and I act young, and I only do that because like I'm enjoying my life. Period. I'm not trying to live my life based on any sort of age restrictions or any sort of like societal expectation.
Or
I'm
compensate for
just
anything, yeah.
living my
Yeah,
life.
just chilling.
Do you understand? Because guess what?
Fair.
We all get old eventually. So because of that, a lot of credit is not given as much as it should be. That's why I feel. That's why when he did his introduction, like it wasn't like the biggest actor in Africa, OG actor, relevant on every platform
Don't
ever
fucking
known.
kill me,
Do you understand? Man, highest
No,
grossing.
let me know.
Because he don't see me like that. Do you understand? He see me like,
No, do you know what's
Some
funny?
of us that
But-
know you from.
and that's fine.
But
You
let me bust your
understand?
head. Do you know what's funny? If you use it, that's funny. But you know when you say that, it's like, even on the show normally, like we've had a lot of actors, like celebrities come, is like, we also want you to feel comfortable. Because the other thing is, it sounds weird. For me personally, I always tell people, like when they come on the show, I didn't really know you as a Nollywood guy. Remember, I sort of knew you from streets.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I used to say like, who's this guy? So Timini is an actor. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And then when we met, I was like, this guy's a chill dude to me. Like,
Yeah.
I like him. So it's
Yeah.
like, when I started now in this industry, the last year, it's like, these guys, they make some moves. So
Yeah.
that's like, okay, fair. So when they come here, it's like, we want you to feel comfortable, that we don't want you to feel like, you guys, so like, we know
Yeah,
who you
like,
are.
yeah.
We know, but it was like, we
It's
want you
a
to feel
table
comfortable.
conversation right here. It's
Yeah,
not-
yeah.
But
No,
I like
know,
how,
you
but I also like how you just did something now, which is what the first time I think somebody has done this on this show, you talked your shit.
We've never actually had
No,
any
like
guests.
bro, and that's
We've
what I'm
never
saying.
had
Like,
any
you know
guests.
what's funny? If you didn't, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes maybe it takes you guys actually saying it, because bro, if you didn't say this thing you just said now, there's some statistics. A lot of us, even in that millennial Gen Z,
We'll not even
wouldn't
know. Yeah.
You know, like
that's-
I said, I saw your journey coming from that. Like you say, 15 years ago. So for me, it was more of that social media era. That's
No,
everyone.
MTV Sugar.
Yes.
And even now, like, it's good that you said social media. Even Nollywood aside, right? I remember when I first used to like create content. All these actors, you see, this guy not this serious. Like the guys that are supposed to be like on my level, the guys that we join Nollywood together. Do you understand? Like dinosaurs now. But like, I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
No, but serious.
I'm actually
But you said you were
They'll be
making
like,
content
yeah,
like
they'll be
different.
like, this guy. Go to take picture instead
Right.
of make it. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I get you.
I
Because
also
to them,
was
they
part
had a
of the generation that birthed social media influencing
Mm.
in Nigeria. Period. Do you understand? Like, say, okay, you can actually make money from social media. You can actually live a good life from social media influencing. Period. It was me. Period. So that also is there aside from the acting. And then I was also able to now show a lot of actors that, see, you cannot only be an actor. Do you understand? Everywhere else in the world, Hollywood and Nollywood, or Hollywood and the music industry, they all kind of like
come.
just
Yeah,
find their
yeah.
lives
When you
together.
have people like Ikudi
They're
finding
all
out in movies, stuff
superstars.
like that.
You go to a club, you see DiCaprio popping off. You can see Diddy on the next table, But like when I started, there was nothing there. It wasn't cool to be an actor. There was no respect. There was no prestige to be a young
I know what you mean.
male
So
actor.
would you say you're one of those? So now that you say, so I'm putting the timeline together now. So would you say, yeah, you were that wave that actually made Nollywood cool to this new generation now?
No, so the shout out to the ladies in Nollywood, like they've been doing it, like they've been doing the packaging, they've been dressing up, they've been looking nice, they've been doing, but the guys they didn't care, they didn't understand
because
how
really,
to.
I
They didn't
can't think
understand
of
the
a
science.
male figure that I would say will give me like a
Even
like
the
a
Jim
DiCaprio.
Knights and Ramsey were back in the day. It was
No,
based
those
off
are
their
my
character.
OGs.
No,
Those
those
are
are
the
OGs,
character,
yeah.
but
No,
like
it's a
not
different
outside of the
generation
movie screen. You didn't follow
Because there was
their
no social
stuff.
There was
media.
no
They didn't really
personality
feel
to
the
go
need-
with.
They
Yeah,
didn't really
exactly.
feel the need to show you, but like I personally started to do that, and that's why I'm the most sought after. Even aside from what you think or what you think, like sentimentally,
actually, yeah.
you understand. If an actor wants to, producer wants to invest 200 million in his project, and he's thinking of an actor, talent aside, forget talent now. Who does it make sense to put on this project? You're still going to think about me. But now, shout out to everybody else that has started upping their game. Everybody's now taking pictures, dressing nice. When you're going for a photo shoot, you're going for a screening or a premiere you know, to dress up, arrange your photographer before you get there, take your proper picture that you want, you know, before you get to the event so that the picture is going and everything is going. These guys just used to pull up. The girls are taking their pictures.
Fair.
These guys will just pull up, stand. One Jide Koshoko photography. No, that's the wrong. But like one Jide whatever photography. We take one picture, tag it, look at the picture. It's nice. We post it on their page. Just like they didn't get it.
Yeah, no scrutiny, nothing.
No,
It's
you
just-
know, so you have to control the narrative. You have to control how people see you. You have to come out as a superstar because that's what you are. You know, so I feel like those are the things that I'm happy. Like, even if I say I'm off Nollywood now, I'm not acting anymore, I retired.
You have a lot
maybe
to actually-
200 movies or 200 projects under my belt, and I'm ready to just maybe start directing. I know that, okay, this is it. I see them. Everybody now has stepped up, done their photo shoot, done their video walking.
Makes you
know
feel
what I'm
good.
saying? Slow motion, bang, bang, bang. Everybody don't get team, stylist, you know?
Yeah, so
That's actually
so I
crazy.
have
Wow.
one question though. So in all of this, would you say you have a favorite project that this one or it might not have been the one that we think is popular, but your personal experience with that project is like, see, till tomorrow, this was my best, this was my, or these two were my best. Did you have any of those?
Bro, that's so hard.
You have to
I
just
mean, I can imagine, but
top three.
or top three.
Top three.
And again, this is not based on their performances out in the streets. This is more your personal experience with that project. Like,
Okay.
this one.
Elevator Baby, number one.
Really?
Elevator Baby
Interesting.
is one of those films that someone actually believed in me enough to really make me the lead. Like, you know, when like it's not an ensemble cast, it's like
And I remember when you
It's
were
like
when
it's
you
for
were
the
pitch-
movie
when you were
itself.
promoting that movie. I remember like how you
Yeah,
really promoted like
yeah.
this is my first major year.
yeah. So I've been in movies. I've been lead. But like, you know, you get lead where you go act where you say, you know, really it
not
doesn't
really-
give you an opportunity to show what you can
Your
do.
performance is not really.
See, I tell
yeah.
people that actors' performances are only as good as the writing, as good as the story, as good as the screenplay. Because you can't be giving me scripts to just chill and be talking with my guys, and I'm here talking with you with showing emotion, showing. There's no need for that. You get so Elevator Baby, the story, everything well put together, being cast alongside Toyi Abraham, who is a fantastic actress. Who also gave me, because I remember being at the read, and when we were doing the read, everything she was saying, like people were just cracking up. Remember I said, guy, if you let this thing go like this, when you get on set, this woman will outshine the shit out of you. And if you can't shine with this story and do your
which
character
one
in
can
this,
you
then
actually-
bro, maybe you're just gonna look for something else to do. Because I'm one of those people that have like 100 other things that I can do excellently well aside from acting.
Right.
So I said, okay, you know what? I'm giving it my all. I went there, I died on the line. Do you understand? Like when I had to like act like I'm hyperventilating, I'll literally suffocate myself. You get like I'll literally go out of breath and then say action so that I'm almost dying and I'm coming back to life. And then when we're sitting down there in the elevator, in the makeshift elevator, I said, okay, yeah, this is my AMVCA. Wait. Mado. Like this is my AMVCA. Like shout out. Don't worry, you collect your own over. Myself, no understand. It's not
Fair
gonna be
enough.
that P where it's
Fair
like
enough.
gonna be. And then lo and behold, like I've been invited to the MVCAs, you know, as you know, a guest, as whatever, you know, whatever. But like lo and behold, I got invited and I won the award. The next AMVCAs I got nominated for 2 different categories. One in action, one in drama, one in comedy. But I didn't really ginger as much because like there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to ginger for an AMVCA.
Right.
And I have it in my wardrobe. Nobody can come and take it away from me where it is. I have the future award as well. So I didn't care, you know. But I done it. So Elevator Baby, shout out to you for that. Shout out to Nia Kimolayo, A.K. Mason, Tony Abraham for that opportunity. That's number 1. Number 2, Tribe Called Judah. You know what I mean? It's a movie that's never going to be forgotten in the history of Nollywood because, like, bro, it was just a perfect movie. It was just a great movie. My character was excellent. The synergy that we had, my bond with Funke Akindele moving forward until we die.
Shout out to my guy on Lumide.
You know, like Olumide, shout out, you know, Jide and everybody. Like, it was just a perfect movie. I was so happy that I was a part of it. And I feel like it's not going to be the end of it. I feel like it's something that's going to, like, grow into becoming, like, more. And then Breaded Life. It's so hard. I have, like, 20 favorite movies.
Personally, me, I like to talk about your performance at Better Life.
Breaded Life. Breaded Life is the third one because it was special to me because the character was supposed to be like in a privileged environment and then he went to like this unprivileged environment and that's where he kind of like, you know,
Groomed the personality.
groomed his personality and found love and everything. Everybody watches that and says, Timini, how did you get there? Da, 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 da. The truth is that I've lived that life. Do you get me? Like I was living the most privileged life at some point in time in primary school, right? Then my mom left my dad, obviously, and she left her dad. She left my dad, and then she came back to pick me from school. I was like Green Springs. She was like, I can't leave my last born. So she went and talked to the principals, whatever. Like, I need to take this boy. And I saw my mom. I was like, yo, mama. I was so happy, bro. So happy. Entered the car, drove back to her house. I didn't really care wherever her house was. But it was a jolly bar. Like, when you hear trenches, you understand? You see where that guy got into the coma and, like, he found himself in the streets.
Trenches,
That's where I found myself. But guess what? His own was a coma. My own was reality.
Your eyes were wide open.
It was like one room. Like the way her room was it was like maybe one room, maybe two rooms. But like the fridge was there, and the TV was on the fridge, and then maybe microwave. There was clearly no microwave. There was whatever. And then I lived that life. And it's in that life, in that 9 years where I went to Jolegba, where I went to public secondary school, where I had to just find a way to just survive and still find a way to still be cool. Shout out to church because like where I was in Razes, but I was going to one church that time, and that church had all the Vivian Fowler girls, BIS boys. So we're all friends. So church was where I was getting my own little dose of coolness.
Cool kid, yeah.
But like back on Monday, it's back to the churches. You understand? Jumping buses. Sometimes you have your money for your transport, but your best friend in school is like, it'd be cool to beg someone to lap us. I'm like, okay, cool, bro, please lap me. Like that's life that I live. Right. Do you understand? And that's where most of my most formative years. That's why I can really be anybody, like, because I've really gone through it. And a lot of people don't see that because I just come off as this cool cat because I'm actually like the coolest cat. I'm sure you know that, right? But a lot of people just see that. So Brother Life gave me an opportunity to just tap into what I went through. Nobody knew. It was like, this guy, you really, but like, it was very emotional for me. That's why
that's what I was gonna ask. Like, how you acting that role? Would you say there were times you had to like, please don't roll yet. I need time to, collect myself. Were you that emotional to the point?
Yeah. No, me, I don't. So as an actor, I don't do the dramatic, like, don't roll yet, or I need a minute. I don't like that.
What about off the scenes? Like,
but like a lot of times in my head, I'm just like, bruh.
Fair enough. Because it was a role that I don't think people would have expected you to pull off.
That's
it was insane performance.
Brother, like, man, I was going to go watch
it. It was
you
insane
watch. If you're watching this
performance.
interview,
My guy was
and for
carrying
some weird
cement
reason,
bag and
you
beating
haven't
in the
watched any
market.
movies. Just watch.
I'll watch it
Brother
this week. Next episode, we'll talk about it.
Watch Elevator. Watch
next.
Elevator, baby. Trap Code Judah. If you watch a Trap Code Judah on your laptop, you're wrong. Because it's not yet out on streaming platforms.
Fair enough.
Wait for it to come on streaming platforms. And then I could go on and on. Maybe we could do one whole episode where we just talk about all my projects.
The thing is, this has been a good episode. We might have to bring you back. We always say
because
if we know
get
part
to
two,
talk about one of the major things we didn't want to talk about just generally outside.
Which
because we didn't even
brand endorsements. Like talking about brand endorsements. Like
speaking of,
shout out to Flavor Car.
there you go.
Get me.
Flirt, come and call us. So Flirt, come and call us.
Honestly, I feel like this is a beautiful platform for you guys to be on because these two guys, even if someone claims that he's retired, these two guys are one of the hardest flares out here in the streets. So shout out to, we didn't also get the fact that like in my journey I've worked with like most of like the take a shot.
I think all of us need to
in my journey I worked with like most of the biggest brands in the country, and I've just had the privilege to tell their stories. So it's just a thing where like I'm grateful and I'm happy that I'm here able to tell my story, and like I realized that if I don't open up and talk about what I've gone through, and also just to say it as it is, that I'm really doing a disservice to the younger people coming in because I'm out here just making it seem like it's going to be easy. And
it's going to be soft. Everything's
it's been a grind. Like you said, 15 years you have been doing this.
Yeah.
Respect.
2009.
It's crazy, man.
Started on Tinsel, then I did MTV Sugar. I did 7 seasons of that. Then I did Skinny Girl in Transit. I did 7 seasons of that. I've done Smart Money Woman. Done.
Like he said, he said it the whole episode.
We have to give you that one, man.
Yeah.
So.
Cheers. This actually tastes so good. One of the best vodkas I've ever drank.
Very smooth.
Flirt vodka.
Don't drink if you're underage, please. We're not encouraging people who are
No,
underage.
man, we
Because we
can't.
do know we have some underage.
You have
people.
underage viewers.
This is social media
everybody
era.
watches Gen Z, millennial, even lower Gen Z. I've had so many people say, my younger brother watches you.
Yeah, that's so be.
So
but-
people-
I'd say that it's a great show. I've watched a few episodes.
Thank you.
Happy that you guys see the set has changed, the quality of the production.
you guys are hearing it from
We're
the
working,
greatest.
we're working,
We're
we're working,
No,
we're
we
working,
didn't say
we're
it.
working.
I was looking at the set today.
By the way, since you say guys come and ask you, both of us will shamelessly plug ourselves. If you need us
no,
for
I
a
got
movie,
you.
Yes, Exactly.
we've done skits before. Look, we know how to act.
Yeah,
We're ready.
I know this guy when I had the 9 to 5. That's
Yes, so
Melvin.
that is when I met him. That's when I knew of Timini. Like so now when I see the new cookers, I'm like, I love to see the growth. I love
we
to
just
see.
yeah,
when
this
we
guy had
grow.
an annoying beard, because like me now, God didn't bless us. God didn't bless me with these things that this guy has. So I just see this guy with this his beard. He always used to wear suits. You see
Yeah,
around that.
I'm
Yeah,
So
in
these
fact,
guys
I
are
came here with that. So
I know this guy would never wear this when I knew him.
No, now
Oh, yeah,
now
I've-
it's showing chest.
I've grown it. I've grown it. I've relaxed a
it.
little bit. I've relaxed a little
This
bit.
guy
yeah.
wear a 3-piece suit to sleep.
Everybody knows me.
But yeah, it's
my
all part
brand.
of the branding, and I got you. I got you. I
No,
feel
thank
like you're definitely good at what you
All
do. Your
right,
parties, the podcasting thing. You're very open with your opinions, and it takes a lot to have the confidence to do that. Because in this time that we're living in, it's just almost like we're being bullied.
Oh, we
Bro,
are being
we said-
bullied,
and
man.
that's
So-
one thing-
so shout out to you for like being
Thank
able
you.
to still keep your owns and like yarn what you want to yarn.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And it
man.
doesn't come up from a place of like chasing clout.
Exactly.
It comes
You're
off from
literally
a
just being
genuine place. And,
You know one
and
thing I
respect
learned?
that.
It sounds funny, but when you were just saying your stuff now, and even from us doing this, one thing I learned that I was just happy about is that in Nigeria, one thing I learned is like when you're doing something very different than the typical norm, that's when you get all the comments,
hate,
everything. But
yeah.
it's like he just said his story now, like even just starting early, being that young actor saying, okay, I'm going to use social media to my advantage. You don't know there's a vision somebody is seeing that eventually, guess what? Knowing Nigerians, we're all going to join the train eventually when it's time. So respect to you, Majid, for saying that, man.
All day.
All right, my guys. So look, this was a beautiful episode, my people. You guys need to subscribe, of course, but go watch his movies, please. A Tribe Called Judah, that is definitely doing well now. What's the second one?
Just go on any platform, any streaming platform whatsoever, and just search my name, Timini Egbuson.
Timini. Just search in Timini.
Hashtag watch Timini.
Hashtag watch Timini.
There we
Where can the people follow you, find you?
Twitter @_Timini, Instagram @_Timini, Snapchat. I like keep that one five.
You they use TikTok?
No, I actually have a TikTok account, but I lost access to it.
We need to make you another one. I'll get some game for you on that.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah, guys. But until next time, we appreciate you. My name is Michael Scenario,
And I'm Morowa Ogunkoya.
and we will see you next time on Menisms.